Good morning everyone, or good evening, whatever time it is you're watching me. This is Amanda Ellis and welcome. This is going to be a slightly different video from the ones that I normally do, but I've been instructed to come online today and do it by my guide, who is Archangel Metatrons. And I was just, blow drying my hair this morning, and he often has a little chat to me as I'm getting ready for the day, and he said to me, go and get this deck, which is the Kyle Gray Keepers of the Light. And it could have been any deck, but it was this deck that the reason is this deck contains 55 different energies within it, and there are obviously 3 particular energies in this deck that we need to be talking about. He actually said to me there is a message from each of the 3. So that's what I'm going to do. I don't know the deck particularly well. I do know that it's got some very well-known energies in it, such as Buddha, Krishna, Mary Magdalene. Who else have we got? Mother Mary. Lots of different energies. Gaia. But there are also some that are less well-known. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle it on screen and we'll just see who we get. So some of these I don't know necessarily. Some of the energies I'm not necessarily familiar with. Some of them I am. So we'll just see what it is that we get. And the reason I'm being called to do this today is it feels as though we all just need a little bit more support. So it feels as though whoever comes through today wishes to help us with whatever is going on in our life at the time that you watch this video. So without any further ado, let me just put the camera down so you can see me shuffle it. I'm very excited, guys, because I've just found out that my camera can do this. It's only taken me God knows how many years to discover this fact. Is it going to stay? Well, that's good enough, is it? Can I get it better than that? I will chop to my face again in a moment, but I want to do the, I want to shuffle so you can see what I'm doing. So, let us bring in the energy of Archangel Metatron, who is my guide, and who is known as the Grand Orchestrator. So this is what he's doing. He's orchestrating something here to bring us some messages from 3 beings. Okay, that's clearly the first one. Wow. Kali, I think you pronounce her name Kali, goddess. Okay, and that's to do with facing fear. Right, okay, she's going to be the first one that we bring through. Let's see what the second one is. Can we please have the second energy that wishes to be here with us today? That one. Mary Magdalene. And let's have the third. The third being that has a message for us today. Krishna. I felt that Krishna was going to come through. Okay, this is going to be really interesting. Let's put the camera back up. There you all are. Let's get it so it doesn't fall down. Okay. Wow, what an interesting mix, guys. Kali, Mary Magdalene, and Krishna. So I'm going to be very respectful because Mary Magdalene comes from the Christian tradition, of which I'm very familiar. Krishna, I do not know, but I know is highly revered, so I want to do it with the utmost respect. And Kali, again, is a beautiful goddess energy that I suspect is very present at the moment, and again, equally wish to honour her. So let's take them one by one. Let's look at Kali first. The card says, major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. Okay? Major spiritual changes are unfolding, and this is your chance to soar. Now, I'm pretty sure that the one thing I do know about Kali is that she is linked into the energy of fire. It's a fiery energy. So I am going to, at this point, just go and get my fire spray to help me. Just to bring the energy in. And then we're going to look at the card. The artwork is done by somebody called Lily Moses, and I'm really struck by how beautiful it is, by how rich the colours are. Look at all that beautiful bright red orange energy around her. Look at the skulls that are around here as well, I guess representing death and rebirth. I'm also hearing the word decay, that sometimes she's asking me to talk about decay, and that's something she's saying that we like to run away from, that we don't like to witness. And she's showing me how in the animal kingdom the process of decay is actually something that is honoured. And I'm being shown vultures, and how vultures, as an example, when something dies, a vulture will be the animal that goes in to clean the carcass. And we can all look at that and go, ugh, how revolting is that? But actually the vulture is serving a purpose, because what the vulture is doing is it's cleaning, and it's cleaning the carcass, and it is also about regeneration, that it's using that food that otherwise would go to waste to help feed itself. And so she's asking us to look at what in our life is decaying at this time. And rather than running away from it and trying to avoid it, to start to observe and honour it as part of the sacred cycle of life. That you cannot have decay before you can have rebirth. It's as though she's coming in with a very tough and gritty energy, which is to do with confront change, confront the death of the old to bring in the new. She is saying that often we sanitize and try to, I'm just going to say sanitize, just to try to sanitize a process that needs to be honoured in its entirety. Look at what is within you that needs to be let go of. Look also at what is within you in terms of that which is lowering your frequency and harming you and decaying you from inside. And she's talking here about addictions, about things that we put into our body that lower us. And I'll give an example of that. I was thinking of this morning because I'm about to go on a detox myself, and going to sort of cut out the alcohol, which I don't drink to excess, but I do like a glass of wine, but just try to cut it back to make my body and my temple as clean as it can be to bring through the messages from spirit. And I was actually asking Raphael about this, but I feel Kali is also very much wanting to help with this, because she's saying, if you think about something such as alcohol or anything, cigarettes, anything that we do which, when done to excess or out of balance, hurts the body. She's saying we can't see the decay which is actually happening inside us. And this morning I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about detoxing, and I was thinking about, yeah, my liver probably needs a good detox. It's going to be very happy that I'm doing this. And then I was reminded of a news presenter in the UK called Susanna Reid, who's a very attractive lady, and she's on record for saying that she gave up alcohol completely, I don't know, a year ago. And she said the thing that stopped her was that she started to see the damage in her face. She was getting lots of broken blood vessels, as an example, and was told that this was down to drinking damage. So the thing is, she could see the damage visually. Yet a lot of the time we don't see the damage and the decay that is being done to our bodies. And if we did what Kali is saying, we would snap out of it a lot quicker. She's reminding me that the other day, and please don't get me wrong, she's not judging us, and I'm certainly not judging anybody. I've smoked in my time, I've drunk in my time, I haven't taken drugs, it's just not my thing. But you know, I'm not presenting myself as a paragon of virtue here. We've all done these things probably. But the other day I was following a car, and it was the one right in front of me, and somebody had their hand, they were just hanging out the window with a cigarette, and they were just like flicking the ash. And because there was a bit of breeze in the air, the ash was sort of almost like flicking onto my windscreen because we were in a traffic jam. And kept doing it constantly, flicking the ash, and then obviously bringing the cigarette back in to take a draw of, and then letting it go, flicking the ash. And I said to my daughter, I said, isn't it ironic, because they don't want the smell of the smoke in their car, but yet they're taking the smoke into their lungs and their body and not realising the irony in that. It's this thing, and that's really what I'm talking about. That's what she's saying, that we don't see sometimes the decay that we're doing to our bodies on the inside. So that's one message. Let's see what else she has to say to us. Okay, just put her photo back up. Kali. I have to say I've never connected really into her before, so let's just see. On the card there is it looks like a fountain that's got fire. Okay, it's like a fountain with fire. And that's interesting to me because so often, particularly with regard to tarot imagery, this isn't a tarot card, I realise, but we're used to seeing the depiction of something like the Ace of Cups. I was talking about that today actually to somebody. And the Ace of Cups is usually linked into the element of water and our emotions and love, and it's like our cup is overflowing with love. And here we've got a cup that is overflowing with the energy of fire. And so how do you react to that? Do you react to that as something that is positive, or do you want to almost like try and put out that fire as quickly as possible, that it's dangerous? I feel as though she's tempting us towards the flame. But the flame is a sacred flame. It's a holy flame. It's actually the true fire of life, that you have to ignite that fire energy within yourself to create the opportunities that you need at this time, and to burn away any old residual energy that is holding you back. Now, this card talks about major spiritual changes are unfolding, and this is your chance to soar. And Kali is coming in and saying, I know that this process can be frightening at times, but sometimes we just have to face our fears and do it. Sometimes we always really have to face our fears and do it. So let's ask her about that. So Kali, what would you like to say about facing our fear? Facing our fear. How much energy you put into that word fear. How much time and attention you put into the energy of fear. How much thought you give it. What about if you chose a different way? What about if you saw fear less as your enemy, but as your friend? She's taking me right back to primal times when fear and the instinct of fear was put there by the divine to help us and protect us. And I'm going way back into almost like prehistoric energy, where danger lurked around every corner, where spirit gave you a mechanism within yourself to alert you to incoming danger. She is saying that that signal system that you were given by the divine to help warn you of impeding danger, be that a monster dinosaur that is about to come round the corner or whatever, real danger. That signal system was needed then. And she's showing me it used to flash red, almost like a code red, the highest warning possible. And she's saying that in many of us, it's never been scaled back down to meet and to still do the job of warning about danger, but in a way which isn't as life-threatening as it used to be in the past. I don't know, maybe there's things like, an incoming hurricane or something like that, or a weather alert. That's what she's really talking about. When you get weather alerts and they code it, don't they? They code it in terms of, amber or red, or maybe there's different scales of alert. And when it's on the top level alert, everything is flashing. She's saying that's almost what internally we still have going on within us. So that when we face situations in our life at the moment, there is no distinction between the top band flashing number 5 category coming in, bright red, urgent, 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 and actually another level of alertness that can serve us, but also makes us realise that our life is not under threat. So much of our fear of moving forward or doing something, when you really dig deep down into it, is about the fact, literally, it's base chakra stuff. I am not safe. And I'm talking about my life is not safe. She's saying there are not as many situations in life as there were thousands of years ago where you walk out of your door and you need to be on that top alert. And she said, if it ever is the point where it is top alert energy, she says, we will step in and help you. So I'd just like you to tune in. She's just showing me almost like an energy within you And where does this sit then? Where does this fear response sit? It feels as though it's up here, it's in the upper chakras, okay? And I'm literally being shown it as a set of traffic lights, okay? And it's as though she wants to just tone down the frequency of that red flashing stop, danger, alert, you know, run for your life type energy. And she's saying that that real red stop, alert energy is encoded into you, and via transmission now, through her, she wants your body to understand that that will only switch on in the event of extraordinary situations. And in day-to-day life, I'm being shown that red light within all of us being muted to a soft pink tone. And just let that energy of soft pink start to flow into your body, into your nervous system, into your mind, and just let Kali help you to reprogram so that yes, you will be warned when you need to be warned, but yet you can face day-to-day life in a more relaxed manner, feeling the energy of love and support as you take the steps you need to take. Starting to understand that that more muted fear response can actually be your friend, and I'll explain that. You have to have, let me put it a different way. I've made friends with fear. So as an example, say for example, if I wanted to go and do speak in public, I still will feel nervous doing that. And I probably will always feel nervous doing that. And maybe that surprises you. But the thing about it is that I've learned that what you have to do is realise that that fear is also creating an adrenaline response in your body, which in balance helps you to get ready. It's a bit like the runner who has to sort of warm up before they actually run the race. You know, Linford Christie or Usain Bolt, they didn't just sort of go from the starting blocks and do the run in the time that they did it without warming up. You need like a warming up energy. And actually the fear response, which is almost like an adrenaline response, helps to get you ready. It G's you up. It's a bit like the fuel coming into the rocket. But then, this is so important what she's saying, is once the rocket is fueled, i.e. you've warmed yourself up, you've felt that sense of fear, what you then got to do is you've got to then do it. Okay? If you don't do it, it's like you've pumped yourself up and then there's no release. There has to be release. Whether it's public speaking, whether it's running a race, whether it's setting up a business, whether it's having that chat that you're worried about having a chat to somebody about because you're worried about their feelings. You know, that sense of agitation, fear, what are they going to say? You get yourself ready, you bring in spirit, but then what you don't do is bottle it and not say it. You have to then take action. Okay? So, that being said, 24 minutes in, we're going to move to the next energy. And the next energy is the energy of, I want to do Krishna next. The next energy is the energy of Krishna. Actually, before I do him, he's just side by side now with Kali. Let me just read what Kyle says about, what the card says, Kali. So Kali Ma is the Hindu goddess of death and rebirth. She brings old cycles to an end so we can experience transformation. She is a strong, fierce, fiery, and powerful image of the divine feminine. Many have been intimidated by her, but she is a mother energy and therefore completely loving. She's like a fierce mother protecting her child from harm. She has a dark energy like the night sky, but it consumes fear and leaves only love. She is the twin flame of the god Shiva and has been known to slay his ego so that he can reveal his true loving self. And then the extended message says, this is a time when you are able to look fear in the eye and move away from it. Fear is just energy, and energy can be changed. So call on her to help you release your fear and step into a space that's strong, focused, and courageous. Absolutely, there's a really very strong warrior energy, you know, with her behind you and at your back. Again, any feelings of fear just start to dissolve. Okay, right, let's look at Krishna then. And actually, as it is the next page, I'm going to read what the message says before I look at him. The message on the card says, trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognised and you are loved unconditionally. So it says Krishna is a Hindu god. So it's interesting that of the 55 cards, we've got 2 beings that came forward from the Hindu faith. I like that. I really like that. And he is known as a great avatar and somebody who embodies divine wisdom. He's one of India's best loved gods. He is approachable, kind, loving, and a supportive guide. He's a peaceful being with a great love for people and animals, and he's often depicted with a calf or a lamb, which is a symbol of innocence, and a peacock feather on his head, which is said to honour the divine feminine. He was the spiritual guide of the warrior soul Arjuna, sorry about my pronunciation, and he helps us move beyond the limitation and wars of our ego and creates in our mind and maybe even in the world around us. Okay, so quite interesting that, just going on what's been said there, that they feel as though they perfectly balance each other out. We've got Kali here as this very fiery energy that maybe we need at the moment to help us to push through, to be courageous, to be strong, to dissolve our fears, to recognise the process of death and rebirth, and to honour it in all aspects of its being, including that decaying process, okay? Not shy away maybe from the death throes, is what she's saying. You know, it's as though we all, by human nature, wants just to jump from one thing to another without fully honouring all the rites of passage and all stages of a rite of passage along the way. And then we've got this very peaceful energy of Krishna that comes in. So let me just see what I can pick up from his beautiful energy. So I love the fact that there's a peacock energy there. The peacock feather. I just need to feel into his energy for a moment, because it's something that I've not really linked into myself before. So let's just see. Krishna. Krishna. Welcome. Welcome, he says. I am Krishna. I am your guide. And I am your friend, and I am at one with you. Where you seek love, you shall find me. Where you seek peace, there I am. Where all feels lost, I shall find you. I wish to be welcomed into your hearts and your minds, for I am not foreign to any of you. You have known me before in previous incarnations. You have known me before in previous incarnations, if not this one. We have sat beside the water many times. And he keeps showing me a running brook or a running river. And the river is, I can see the stones in the bottom of the river. And I'm wondering whether I'm seeing the Shiva stone, the Shiva stones. I think I'm seeing the Shiva stones, which is linked into the water elemental and is from a holy sacred river. Maybe the Ganges, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, so we have sat beside the water many times. We have put our feet into the waters of life together. And we have renewed and kept clean the godliness that is within ourselves and others. Christ gave you the gift of water through baptism, and I too honour you with water. And he's showing me feet being cleansed in water. And he's asking us to sit beside this beautiful, I'll keep wanting to call it a brook, with him. He's dressed in a white robe. He's sitting on a bank and his feet are in the water. And he's asking each of us to come and sit beside him. I feel as though I am sitting beside him on his right-hand side, and to join him in the ceremony of the celebration of water and the life that it carries and the story that it carries. And he says, when you put your feet into water and when you touch water, you are able to feel the spirit of all of your ancestors, all of the people upon this planet who have experienced the exact same drop. He's saying water is far more than you think it's so. It is a living, breathing organism that carries your soul through life. From the waters in the womb from which you were born to the waters that take you after life. And I am being shown ashes being sprinkled onto the water. And I'm being shown, it's like I can still feel Kali's energy here. Two perfectly balanced energies, one linking to fire and transmuting and transforming energy of fire, and then water also having that property, but yet I want to say the fire comes first and then the water follows. Although he says really it is a sacred circle and that the fire and water are one and constantly flow together. As I open my eyes, I look at his eyes. Can you see his eyes? And I just see pools of compassion and gentleness and humbleness and kindness. Gentility and kindness. Is there a place for me within your heart? Is there a place for the energy that I carry within you? I am here for all. And I am here to serve. And I am part of this ascension process. I am part of this evolution of this planet. I am claiming my place there. I hope that you welcome me. We do welcome you. And as I said, we do welcome you. It's like he did that. I don't know what that's called. It's like he bowed his head. He's showing me this energy, and it's going into the heart. The energy of taking in prayer and peace. And this movement, this... I can't find the right words, so bear with me, but I'm just being shown this. I know there's more to this than that I can articulate, because I'm just feeling the energy of it. And he's just wanting for you to do this. And okay, he's saying it's like it's an honouring of the heart. It's an honouring of your heart. When I do this to you, I'm honouring your heart. I'm honouring your soul. I'm honouring your light. I am that too, and so are you. I am honouring the godliness in you. It's the energy of Namaste. Krishna. Oh, okay, I can see now. The card says devotion, so that's why he was talking about prayer. I hadn't recognised that. Okay, yeah, prayer. Talk to me about prayer, please. Prayer, meditation, going within, whatever we wish to call it. It is all talking to God. It is all talking to the God within. You are the God within. You are the God within. He's wanting me to repeat that. You are the God within. Your eyes are the windows to your soul, and your soul is God. You are God. We are all God. Everything that you see, everything that you touch, everything that you taste, everything that you experience is God. Let's take a deep breath in together. Just breathe in his energy. And out. The energy is just stunningly peaceful and sacred and holy. And I want to say balancing. It's quite interesting that they came together, because it's almost as though Kali's one for, like I said, it's like revving you up. That fire energy, revving you up. Come on, let's do it. Let's go for it. Fight those fears. Go through it. Go for it. Walk through the fire almost. It's like the fire walk. You can do it. And then the Krishna energy is just this place of, it's like an oasis of calmness and peace and beauty. And they're just so beautifully perfect together. Wow. Anything else to say then before I move on? Krishna. Any other message from you, Krishna? There's like a chant that he's bringing to my attention, and I really don't know anything about what the chanting is, so I'm assuming. I mean, Hare Krishna, is that part of? I don't know. I sort of want to look that up because I want to get it right. Hold on one moment. Krishna. I don't even know if you'd call it chanting. Prayer, invocation. Krishna chanting mantra. Oh, Hare Krishna. I don't know whether it's the same. I don't know whether it's the same. Can you let me know? It's like there's no condemnation from him, even if it's wrong. You know, I've got it wrong. I think why they're wanting to come forward is they're wanting us to explore their energies, and it's about learning together. It's a bit like all of the beautiful ascended master energies. If you lived in a part of the world where you'd never grown up, for example, with Christianity, you know, and Mary Magdalene or Christ, and it was the first exposure to those energies, Mary and Christ wouldn't be coming in saying, oh, you got that wrong. You know, they just wouldn't. This is almost like they're coming forward, and they're coming forward through me, you know, and look who I am. You know, I'm a white English girl, basically, who grew up in a Christian faith, who still does hold Jesus very sacred and in my heart. And I've never really looked into these two energies. And so therefore they're coming forth, and it's almost like they're wanting to introduce themselves, but they're also wanting us to open our hearts so we can learn more. And there are going to be people watching this who know a lot. Great, share it. You know, that's the whole purpose of it. I think that's why I've been asked to sit here. I very much suspect that as they've come through so strongly today, that they will come back. Is there something here about fire and water with regard to the earth? I'm just going to put the question to both of them. I'm just looking at both of them here. Fire and water with regards to the earth. Fire and earth, fire and water with regards to the earth. They're both showing me the energies of the elementals, and I'm seeing bubbling lava underground in chambers, moving into new areas. Oh, okay. In the same way that we are being, this is Kali, in the same way that we are being asked to move into new areas of the heart, new chambers, energetic chambers of the heart are opening up as we expand and we evolve into fifth dimensional frequency. So too Mother Earth Gaia is moving into new chambers within her as well. And these chambers are being filled by many things, including elemental energies. And Kali is saying, very much like I just said, in terms of having to rev yourself up before the start of something new, which is that fire energy. You've got to get yourself a little bit, worked up before you can do anything. She's saying so too is Mother Earth doing that. And she's showing me bubbling fire energy moving into new chambers within the earth. So look for unusual or unexpected eruptions of fire energy in places where you may not be expecting them. So too with water. Water, Krishna, water is changing and will be changing the geographical shape of your world, is what he's saying. Not today, not necessarily tomorrow, but in the foreseeable future. Rising sea levels, changing landscapes, the sea reclaiming some areas, but what the water takes away, it will then reveal something new elsewhere. So I'm being shown land being taken away by water, coastlines here I'm talking about, but then new bits of land popping up in other places which at the moment are submerged. So he's saying the truth is it is more like a redistribution of water, and it will change the face of this planet going forward. I'm not being shown it as a one event that happens overnight. It feels as though it is a process. Both of them feel as though it is a process. That's what's going on with the elementals. So too, you need to be distributing the fire energy within you better, putting it where it needs to be. Kali's bringing in the sexual energy here as well. Fire, sexual energy within the, I'm hearing the word loins, which is a very old-fashioned word, but you know, that's sort of the expression I've got. Kundalini, fire energy into the base, rather than the fire energy being in places where it can damage the body internally. And here she's talking about the head, almost like linking back to what I was talking about in terms of the red mist, you know? That sort of energy. Put in the fire and energy where it needs to be in the body to fuel exercise, sexuality, creativity, kundalini, getting your feet moving, passion, doing it, you know? Rather than that fiery energy being something that is misplaced within you or unused within you. You've got to channel it, she's saying. And so too Krishna, the water energy within you being something that needs balancing. He's also saying to me, I need to drink water now. He's saying there are parts of you that are parched. You'll have to tell me, guys, because just this energy of water with him is just so overpowering me. And so unexpected. So maybe it's just something he is known for, or maybe it's something new that he's showing. I don't know. Let me know. Parched areas of the brain, you know? Not enough water within the body to feed the organs. Honour your temple, he's saying. Honour your temple because it houses your soul. Okay. Right. I'm going to bring Mary Magdalene now because she came up as the third energy. Okay, I've actually got a Mary Magdalene spray, so I'm going to put those two to one side, Krishna and Kali Ma, thank you. Mary Magdalene. Not the first time I've channeled Mary Magdalene. Let's see why she wants to come forward today. Teacher awakens. Teacher awakens. Vesica Pisces around her neck. Okay, Mary. Just need to let the other two energies go for a minute. Hold on, guys. Let me just tune into Mary. She's saying they don't need to go anywhere. She's saying that's the whole point. She's saying we all compartmentalise all of the help and all of the support that is out there for us in terms of universal spiritual energies of light, all of whom are here to ultimately serve us and help us and support us on our journey. She's saying they are welcome to be in my space as they welcomed me. She's saying pause and just re-say that. They are welcome to be in my space as I was welcomed into theirs. I feel as though this is very much, there's an energy coming through of like breaking down the barriers and the walls between religions, between belief systems, not to create some vanilla, homogenized one faith. Spirit has complete and utter respect for everybody's individual religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs. The point that I feel is trying to be made here is that can coexist with a mutual respect isn't the word, I mean it is respect, a mutual, it's like a closer cooperation and understanding and learning. Okay. What she's saying is, how can unity consciousness come in? How can unity consciousness come in unless we all start to understand each other better? And one of the main ways that we can help to start understand each other better is through cultural beliefs, traditions, spirituality, and being interested in other doctrines which all ultimately serve the one God. You know, I've always felt that personally, that it doesn't matter what your faith is. Ultimately, we're all praying to the same thing. Source energy. It's from which everything comes. And I'm just being shown this amazing like white light above, which is representative of source, God, whatever you want to call it, the divine, the creator, from which everything comes. All of he's showing me like beautiful reflections of rainbow light coming down in all the different colours, all the different faiths, all the different beliefs, all the different people all over the world, wherever you are, east to west, north to south, whatever you've grown up with, whatever your tradition is, whatever your belief is, ultimately it's all linked into that beautiful white light. And because we are all reflections of that white light, wouldn't it be interesting to start looking at all the different strands of light that come from it and get to know and understand these other beautiful energies that are within our world? And it works both ways, of course. For me, these two energies here that we've been discussing today are not as familiar as, for example, Christ and Mary Magdalene. But for other people, it would be the other way around. So it's very much about, the energy that I'm getting here is it's like an excited energy. It's like part of the ascension process, part of evolving spiritually, is to like our eyes become open and our ears become open to all sorts of beauty and wisdom. And wisdom isn't just held within one pot. That's really what Mary's saying. Wisdom isn't just held within one pot, within one place, within one belief system. You know, she's here, teacher awakens. It's like it's Mary that's coming through here and saying, look at all of these other beautiful energies that are there to be honoured, respected, and very much also welcomed and integrated within. Okay, let's just see anything else for Mary Magdalene. For this particular video anyway, Mary Magdalene. She's saying that a time is going to come for all world religions, or whatever faith you are, whereby new teachings are going to come forward. And by that, what she means is that some of the unwritten works and words that for whatever reason have been put to one side because they didn't fit into the last 2,000 years or whatever history of our planet. It's as though she's saying there are sacred works to come forward, and new discoveries and new teachings from all of the world belief, I want to call it belief systems. She's saying that religion itself does not die as we ascend. It transforms and it evolves. So those that take any pleasure from the destruction of, for example, the church, which she says, which I know is not who is watching this now, but she says there are some that seek pleasure in the destruction of the old. Please realise that what ultimately will happen is the creation of a new church, but this church will be one of people rather than buildings. Yeah. Mary. One more message and I'm going to close out because I can see the video is quite long. Mary Magdalene. I was feeling, it's like she was almost like feeling, let me choose my words very carefully here, because Mary on her own is not lost, okay? Mary is a powerful being of light in her own right. But it's like here we've got the male and the female. We've got Krishna and we've got Kali Ma. And it's like here she is, she's saying, here I'm just here. This is just me on my own. I sort of feel as though there's a male energy, which of course is the Christ energy. So that's interesting, that came out. Joan of Arc, I can't do that in this video, but Joan of Arc, I know why she's coming out, just very quickly. That was linked into, as I was just talking about Mary Magdalene and the destruction of the church, but it isn't really going to totally go, it's going to evolve. I was thinking about Notre Dame, or Notre Dame came into my energy, and I know Joan of Arc somehow links into all of that as well. But that is for another video, guys, okay? Because that could be a whole other half-an-hour talk, which I just can't do today. I just want to get the energy of the card for Christ here. It's like, it just feels slightly incomplete without him here. Where is he? Sure, he must be in here. Yeah, Master Jesus. Putting those two together with these two, it's like now we've got a complete energetic set for this video. So bringing Christ in with Mary. Combined energy. Mary and Christ. That's interesting. She's saying I was quite fiery. And he was quite gentle. Well, he obviously was gentle. Christ is often presented as he was a radical revolutionary of his day. And there were incidents, and I talked about it in the Notre Dame video, where he turned the tables over of the money changers. But I can't think of many other stories linked to Christ where he really showed a very sort of fiery side of his being. He had great courage, of course, and great strength. But I'm talking more about, I mean, Kali The Kali energy is also about anger. It's about, there's nothing wrong with feeling anger. Anger can be a fuel that gets things done. You know, sometimes you have to fight for injustices. And here too, Mary, I feel as though she's sort of, her energy is coming through in terms of, yes, I also fought for injustices. There was an aspect where I needed to do that. I needed to be much louder, but it's not like she was shouting or anything like that, but it's like she had to fight for her place. That's sort of the energy that I'm getting. You know, it's like there's no sort of doormat energy here with Mary Magdalene, you know, far from it. Again, warrior type woman. Both of these female energies that have come forward today, Mary Magdalene and Kali, they're warrior-like in their energy. You know, they're strong. You know, they're strong. And then the two male energies that we've got here are just actually showing this much more. Getting caught up in words, because it's like this is beyond 5D. It's really hard to bring it into language, but it's a different energy. It's gentler, but I'm not saying that the feminine archetypes don't have the gentleness. It's just very interesting, the whole male-female thing here. We always like to think of the masculine. We've been shown the masculine through the last 2,000 years, the patriarchal rule. It's been about the man, you know, who is domineering and can be aggressive and all the rest of it. And here we've got both in Krishna and in Jesus, just this beautiful, soft energy, you know, of just peace and balance and tranquility. And it's not that the two female guides here don't have that, but it's just that they've got a bit of balls to them. I'm sorry, it's the only word, and it's not the right word that I can bring forth, but that's what I'm feeling. The divine feminine energy isn't this passive, you know, little, you know, stay at home sort of, you know, just do. It's not. It's the feminine energy that's going to take on the world, and the male energy feels as though it's as strong, but it's like supporting that. Whoa, how beautiful is that? Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I think that's probably enough energy for today anyway. I'm going to thank these four beautiful masters in their own right for coming forward, and I hope you enjoyed that. I found it very interesting myself. Much love for now. Just listening to the bird outside. Did you hear that? The cooing. I don't think it's a dove, but it sounded a bit like a dove. Much love to everybody. Bye for now.